Dear friends, welcome back. In this video, I'd like to take a look at another machine on the Van Hub, which is HackNorth. The link will be added into the description section below. I think I've already completed the other machines in this series, HackNorth. I think this series is fantastic. However, I omitted this. I think this is the first machine in this series. Anyway, today I'm going to penetrate into this machine. Before we go ahead, if you don't mind, please subscribe to my channel and leave a like below. This will help me with YouTube algorithm. So without further ado, let's just get started. We can switch over to the Kali Linux VM. First of all, we need to discover the IP address of the target. The utility I'd like to use, as always, would be netdiscover. Press enter. So as you can see over here, the IP address of the target could be recognized as 166. So what are we going to do next? We need to do the port and save scanning with a map. To save time of this video, I've already completed before. So for now, we just get out its result. As you can see over here, I used the options like SceneScan, the virtual scan, the default script scan, and followed by the -P- to do the full range port scan. The last option of all is ON to output the result into this file. Although, as you can notice here, the IP address has been changed from the first time when I did the machine. So from the Nmap scanning results, we can tell that the target has two open port numbers in total. The first one is 22, which is running SSH service, and also the version information. Although this version is not very updated, but I don't think we can find any vulnerability for this particular version of OpenSSH, except the username immersion vulnerability. This is not what we want. Anyway, the second one is 80, which is running HTTP service, and also the version information, Apache 2. So what do we have to do next? Of course, we need to begin immersion with this web application, both manually and automatically. Let's fire up our browser of Firefox to do the manual immersion first. And we can put the IP address of the target into the address bar. So, okay, press enter. And we got the page back from the target. Apparently, this is the Apache 2 default page. And we need to, take a look at the code, not the code, the content very carefully, especially when we deal with the CTF-like machines, in case we miss some important information. But nothing like that. We can check the source code. Scroll down to the bottom. Nothing interesting. And next we can check whether we have access to the robots file. Not found. Next, we can launch Ligato to do the automatic immersion. And Ligato can give us a lot of output or information about the web application. For example, like the banner or the version information, the header information, the allowed HTTP methods. For example, if the target allows a dangerous method, for example, like a put, then we can utilize that sort of dangerous method for our purpose. For example, to upload the malicious file onto the target machine. So, but here, nothing exciting. So what do we have to do next? We need to launch the GoBuster to do the directory immersion. We can specify the URL of the target and use the W option to specify the word list. Of course, I always use the GoBuster as my word list. GoBuster directory and X extension option, X option, sorry, text back. And as you can see, the Godbuster starts the brute forcing against the directory of the target. I think immediately we got two discoveries in terms of directory and file. And so we can copy and access this directory. You know, Drupal is another very important CMS, which is similar to the WordPress, especially when we'll deal with the CDF-like machines. Very often, you will meet the Drupal CMS. And Drupal, some old version of Drupal has vulnerability what we can exploit. So I think next, of course, at this moment, we don't know its version of the Drupal, maybe Gems. So next, welcome to Gems, and we can try to use the weak credential, admin, and admin as password, but cannot work. And also we can try to use bypass, login bypass technique to log in, admin, login, but failed. So I think next we can use the search sprite Drupal, and as you can see, there's so many exploits available. Although we, as just I mentioned, we do not know its version. However, as you can see, even the Metasploit has some modules which can work for this CMS. So it deserves our trial afterwards, okay? Because Metasploit is so effective and very easy to use. But before we do that, I'd like to check another file. And so what's about? Yeah, this one. We can copy and access this file. This it's obvious that this text is encoded. We can copy. Maybe we can use the echo and tunnel to base64 decode. Although we have already got the output from this message, the output is again encoded, and this is, encoded in brainfuck. So sorry about the name. And we can go to this website. The link of this website will be appended into the description section below. So as you can see, we can paste the data in here and execute, and then we can get the output. And this should be the credential. We can copy and paste over here. So I think next we can try to use these credentials to log in or SSH to the target, because SSH service is running on the target, the gems. Yes, accept, and we can copy its password. Paste over here. But this doesn't work, okay? So next, because we have already got the Drupal CMS, and also we got the, the login page. So next we can try to use this credential to log in. Gems, password, and it does work. So in this case, I do not want to find the location where we can upload the the malicious file. Just I mentioned earlier, I think when we try to exploit the CMS which has corresponding Metasploit module, that we need to prefer using the Metasploit to exploit. Okay, so let me clear in action. So we can launch the Metasploit console. Then we can search Drupal. And there's so many modules available, but this one is what we want. We can copy and paste in here. We do not need to change the payload, just leave it as it is. So we can show options, and we can set localhost to our Kali Linux. And so set local port number to 555, which is my favorite port number. And also we need to set a remote host to our target. Okay, show options again. So we need to set a remote port number. Okay, we do not need to change. And another one, target URI target URI to Drupal. Even this module is unauthenticated. We do not need to provide the credential. So now we can run it. The target is vulnerable. Sending stage payload to the target. The Metpreter session 1 opened. Fantastic, very easy. So we do not need to manually exploit the CMS of Drupal. So just I mentioned this is my methodology. I always, prefer the Metasploit as the first way to exploit, and we can get the shell, and which we can spawn the interactive shell. Python 2 is not there. How about Python 3? Python 3 is there, and we can import PTY module, spawn. Okay, it's much better. So next, I think we can okay a lot of file. We can cut out the install. Nothing there, and we can export term variable, so we can clear the screen. Okay. So now we can go to the home directory, and only one normal user. We can grab the user flag without a problem. So maybe now we can switch to James. Just now we have already got its credential, right? We can copy to see whether it works. It doesn't work. Okay, which is fine. Next, we can check the version of the kernel. I think this version is vulnerable, but I will not take this vulnerable kernel in this video to elevate privilege. Okay, so how to do? Maybe we need to navigate across some locations. var backups. Nothing there. Go to the Drupal. Maybe it will be wiser. We can upload the Ninpier shell script to the target. Then we can do the automatic enumeration, right? I've already got this script ready. So now we just set up the web server on the Kali Linux to upload this file to the target. Okay, we can use wget. Ninpiers. And we can, we can change mode this file to run it. Ninpiers. Even we got the error very weird. Operation not permitted, which is fine. Maybe very often you will have some problems. So we need to, as I mentioned over and over again, we need to grasp the skills or techniques as many as possible. So we just run bash. We do not need to change the permission setting. As you can see now, the script can be executed as usual. Okay. under the most circumstances, we can utilize the power of this script, NumPy script, to retrieve the information about the target. I think we have already found one which is highlighted in yellow and red color. Okay, all right, it's done. And then we can scroll up to locate that vector which can help us to elevate privilege. Oh, a lot of output by this script. All right, as you can see, wget. So the question now is how to use wget to elevate. You can go to the website of GTF OBINS, and we can follow the instruction or steps. What you can see over here, we can copy. Paste over here, no error. And we can change mode. Very weird. This time we can change mode. We can copy, paste in here, and then we can copy this part, wget. However, we got the error. So it means that this way cannot work for our case. So how to do? Actually, wget, so what the SUID bit means. This means when we run this binary, and this binary has SUID bit, and when we run this binary, we will get temporarily the privilege of the owner of this binary. As we know, the owner of the wget is, we can check out the wget. We can use, as you can see, the owner is root. It means that when we run this wget, we will temporarily get the privilege of the owner or root user. So I think now how to do. I think I've already demonstrated this technique before. However, I'd like to showcase again because this is so great. So we can, maybe other guys do not use this way, but I prefer to use this way to elevate privilege. Okay, so for example, first of all, we can get or retrieve the password file. We can copy the entire content, and we can create the file locally on the okay. So now also we can copy the first line, the root user, where the root user is located. We can put over here. Next, the objective here is to create a new user, and this new user has the root privilege. How to do? For example, we can change we can create the username as like JSON, and of course we need to create the password for this new user, and we can create the password manually by the utility sudo openSSL password and SSHA 512 sort. Of course, you can use any sort and password. Okay, press enter, and we can get the hashed password, and then we can replace this X by our hashed password, and then we can copy this line completely, and then we can insert at its end. Okay, now write and quit. So next we can use wget password file, and we need to use uppercase O, and by this option we can specify the location where the file should be living. Okay, and so this new file, this new password file will replace the original password file, and this new file contains new user. Okay, and this new user has root privilege. Okay, so now we can hit enter, no error, right? So then we can switch our shell or escalate our shell to the root user, JSON, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It does work. Then we can navigate to root directory and grab the root flag without any problem. So that's pretty much it. I'd like to see you in the next one. Bye. Have a nice day, please.